Every soul, when descending to one of many material worlds, goes through and covers herself with 8 layers that prevent spiritual enlightenment from entering. First 3 outer layers are false ego, intelligence, and mind. These 3 create fake consciousness, or the software of every living being. Mind is something like a database of perceptions, a storehouse. What happens with the database, whether I use it right or abuse it, is ruled by intelligence. Bad news is that intelligence works for false ego to make it happy. The mission of false ego is to detach you from your real self. We must not know who we are, otherwise we wouldn't want to play this game. As the soul descends further, she covers in the 5 additional layers: ether, air, fire, water, and earth, developing a specific sense at each level. At the ether level comes the sense of hearing, then touch, sight, smell, and taste. Now we have the hardware or physical body. In order to play the game, the soul must wear this 8-layered spacesuit. The trick is that in this thick suit, the soul is disconnected from the pure light of consciousness she once had in the spiritual world. So, all the elements are there, but everything is inert, passive. The elements have no driving force, no consciousness. They cannot establish relationships, nothing. In order for them to get into relationships and create structures, the vital spiritual energy is necessary, and the driving force here are the desires of a soul wearing the spacesuit or the physical body and her subsequent actions, which are mostly egocentric. A quick question. What causes movement in the spiritual universe where there is no ego, where your knowledge is absolute, where everything is perfect? What compels the God and souls to do anything at all? Selfless love towards another being. In the spiritual world, all divine activities are controlled by the pure energy of love. It's a self-regulating principle. Where there is love, you don't need lawyers, police, laws. You do everything voluntarily and as best as you can, so you don't even need quality control. But when you put love away, you need all these things. Loving energy is replaced by karmic energy, the single and only regulatory principle on the earth, the protective mechanism of material nature. An advice. The defense against bad karma is not to create delusive attachment to anything and anyone. Good thing about all this is that even in the material game, you can decide whether to act with or without love. However, a soul can only bear the karmic reaction for her actions in the physical body. Karma pushes us to be born, to accept another bodies again and again. The difference between a human and animal body is that only in the human body a soul can decide whether she wants to continue playing this game in the material world or to break the samsara circle. Eventually, after billions of years and millions of reborns, the soul realizes that playing for God is absolutely unnatural. You can be a pharaoh, a king, a beggar, even Lord Brahma himself, and yet something is still missing. So it happens that the soul comes to know that she no longer wants to worry, wants to be carefree, the only natural position for her. That brings me to a conclusion that the material game is designed in such a way that we do not stuck in it. Discomfort and suffering are systemic anomalies or clues for us to realize the truth. And it is the suffering through which we increase our knowledge. This illusion would not make any sense if we were only lying on the beach and everything would just fall into our lap. Suffering and pain in the material world is inevitable, and the ancient Vedas are the divine manual how to alleviate the pain. Whichever part of the Vedas you start with, whether it's yoga, Ayurveda, Vastu, astrology, it will always lead you to the knowledge of the whole. We hope you like this content, and if you want to learn more on this topic, we have created a comprehensive online course called Vastu Shastra, the older sister of Feng Shui, available on Google Drive or on Udemy.